So Miss Wood and I have found that this kind of conference in the beginning is more, as I told you in the email, is more successful than meeting individually with each parent because we're all kind of still in the same place. So tonight I was going to briefly touch on why we teach the Suzuki, and we also do a blended born off method with in our classroom. I'm going to show you kind of the beginning steps of playing an instrument and what your child has been learning in the last couple of weeks. The very first song, which is the AE tune, and it's all open strings. Our next piece is called Mississippi River, which you've probably heard those words. And all of the other songs that follow from there, they're all the same notes, but they are in different rhythms, and I'll kind of show you that. Our first big piece, which is called Twinkle, Twinkle, I'll show you a little bit of the book, the website, and then the big part of how you can help during home practice. I will also send this slide out to all of the parents so that you can easily click on the links and kind of go back when students are practicing to review some of the questions and stuff. So the Suzuki method, this is a very unique kind of method to Clayton. I've worked in Hazelwood before this for 6 years. I've been in Clayton for 10 years. And I've toured a lot of programs here in the St. Louis area. And as well, Mariano and I were very lucky to even go tour a program up in Pennsylvania. And I really have found that this is a very unique method that we use in Clayton. The Suzuki method is around everywhere and other schools use it, but kind of the way we implement it in the classroom is pretty unique and kind of exciting. I wrote my thesis, actually. I received my doctorate in music education last year. And I did this combination of the Suzuki and Bornoff method and the idea and researching the two methods and how they can complement each other and make for a very successful class. So the Bornoff method is much like the Suzuki method in the way that there's a lot of memorization. We don't put music in front of a child in the very beginning. This Bornoff method really focuses on the right arm, which is the bow arm, and promoting a really healthy bow arm tone, parts of the bow, all of those things are a part of that method. The Suzuki method, like I told you, memorization is important and is very heavy in the beginning, at least, because we are wanting to hope to promote good posture, good positions to give them a solid foundation before they start advancing. We want students to be very comfortable with the instrument too. You may have heard students talking about passing, and we do a passing system in our class. So students are taught the song, how to play the song, how the song sounds like. We work on it in class, we clap the song, we sing the song, we do a lot of different ways of learning. And then our idea is that the child goes home then and works on the piece and then comes back to class and says, okay, I think I've mastered this song, I want to play it for you. And we give them feedback, either, yes, that was beautiful, great job, or can you do that next time with a good bow hold, or can you hold your instrument a little bit taller next time? This way of running the classroom puts students in charge of their own learning. And I really want to make this my goal to each and every child, that whether you pass 6 songs this year or you pass all 15 songs this year, that students are proud and empowered by the discipline that they put into learning the instrument. And then also it just performance, which I am excited to show you guys in December at our first concert. So in the last couple of weeks, the beginning stages, it's the beautiful sounds you're hearing at home and all the beautiful sounds we're hearing at school. We've learned how to hold our instrument, how to hold our bow, what it's like to bow on the instrument, and our left hand placement. These are all videos that are on the website that if I say to a child, I really want you to work on a bow hold, and the child goes, well, and I show them in class and they go home, I forgot how to do that again. They can go to these websites to help them, remind them what good positions look like with a bow hold, instrument, etc. So one of the things, just to kind of give you a quick demo, we've been working on is we tell students, And when kids are at home for violin and viola, they're standing up practicing. So we ask students, sorry, my head's gone off, to put their arm out. We flip the instrument. So we're looking at the back of the instrument. We're bending our elbow and we're placing the violin, setting it on the jaw of your jaw onto the chin rest, and it's sitting up tall. We always tell students that our nose is in line with the scroll. Then students are working on, and they're not sitting, they're standing, unlike me right now, working on how to hold a good bow hold, getting their fingers wrapped, little spaces in between each of their knuckles. Their pinky is bent on top, and you might hear them maybe talk about a strong thumb bump. Students are then bringing their left hand forward to start beginning finger placements. We talk about a good wrist, bad wrist, good wrist, bad wrist. We always want the wrist to be very straight. Thumb is back and down, and our fingers then are placed on the tapes of the instrument, which I don't have tapes on this violin, unfortunately. So I'll kind of show you how it gets put together in a song. So those are the beginning stage of how to hold their instrument. Like I said, you can review with them at home. Our first song is the AE tune. It is the first piece in the book. So your child's book should look like this. The violin books are red. The viola books are pink. But all of the fronts of the books look just like that. If they page through the book, you will get to the very first song, which is called the AE tune. And we are playing on this piece, Mississippi River Rhythm on the E string 8 times. And then the violins, this is just for violins. And then violins and violas are playing A string 8 times. Violins go to rest position, violas play D string 8 times. So what that looks like is a little bit like this. We're putting it all together, getting a good bow hold, hand is on the shoulder. We're placing our bow on the E string, and we're playing. Then they're rolling to their next string. Mississippi River is the rhythm that they're playing on their instrument. So that's just learning how to play on open strings. If students want some help with that, I've got these links. There's a helpful video there and a play along video for them. The next piece is, you've probably heard this piece being brought up at home. It's called Mississippi River, and it is actually starting to add fingers to our playing. So if you look back at the book, Mississippi River, we're playing those open strings, but now we're actually adding some fingers into our playing. So if you want to see, well, let me demonstrate really kind of quickly on the first line of this. We're playing on our open D first. Our left hand is ready to perform. We go to A string. And now students are starting to put their fingers down onto the fingerboard. Open A. 1, 2, 3 on the D string. 2 on D. 1 on B. Open B. So that's our first song that we actually use fingers. So if students need help with that piece, here's some clickable links to help them along, a helpful video, and then also a play along video. Then after Mississippi River, the next 4 songs, if you actually look at the book, and we showed this to students the other day in class, they're all the same exact notes. The second piece is down pony, up pony, same notes. Little frog, same notes. Popcorn song, the same notes. Wish I had a motorcycle. They're all the same. The rhythms are just played differently. So for example, down pony, up pony, it's just as I kind of say it. Down pony, up pony. Down pony, up pony. little frog, same notes, just a different rhythm. So if students are coming home and saying, oh, she just really quickly showed us what little frog was supposed to sound like, which I actually did in class today, which I just very quickly showed them. They can go on this website and practice alongside with me on that rhythm to remind them what it's supposed to sound like. Our first big piece of the song, our first real piece, is Twinkle, Twinkle. And nobody is here now on this piece, so don't worry about this. This would probably be a great piece for students to kind of shoot for the December concert, trying to accomplish all of those songs up to this song. But this is the very first song that has a little bit of a melody to it and is a more recognizable song. So memorization is very easy because the notes are all the same. So it'll be exciting when students get to that point. I showed you a little bit about the book. One spot I want to show you that's really important in the book is the beginning. This part of the book is where students are going to log what songs they have passed in class to give you an idea of what they need to work on first or next. So right now, a lot of students should have passed Mississippi River, and they should have a sticker here. And if they haven't, that's fine too. But just if you look and take a peek at their book, you probably will see that most of them have stickers, or they might have forgotten to put one there. But majority of the classes have now passed Mississippi River. Most of the students are now working on this down pony, up pony song. And then you'll see as the year goes on, the expectation and ideas as to what pieces your child should be on and working on. We'll also be launching a 100-day practice challenge soon. That will hopefully propel your child to get them ready to practice consistently day by day. And then, as I showed you, here are all the pieces in the book. And I don't know why I was thinking there was 12 songs, but we actually have 13, 14, 15 songs that we hope that your child will learn by May concert. So that's a whole academic year for your child of learning in the 4th grade class. Our website, like I said, is very, very helpful just to kind of show you around it a little bit. Our first page has all of our concert dates. So if you're ever confused on what days our concert and times, they're all here. If your child comes home and says, I left my book at home because they don't want to practice, all the books are online here. And there's no reason that a child doesn't have a book at home if they have computer access. And then all of those helpful videos are here on the violin and also on the viola section. Lastly, this is one thing I'm kind of most excited to share with you is how can you be a helper at home for practicing? So we really try to promote that smaller, more frequent practice is better than bigger chunks. I know it's very hard, but trying to shoot for 10 to 15 minutes a day would be amazing, would be wonderful. The way we run class is not the most ideal, meaning twice a week for big chunks of time for an hour is not how I want your child practicing. I'd like them practicing more frequently throughout the weeks and smaller times of practice. We'll talk a little bit about ways they can practice. They're set up at home as well. And then one thing too is that I really kind of try to promote this year that students buy an actual stand for home practice. And I put an Amazon link here for that. A good, decent stand. It's not too expensive. So how can you help at home? You can ask your child before they even practice, did you rosin your bow? And they can show you what that means. Did you tighten your bow? They can show you what that means. Did you put your shoulder rest on? Kids can get very lazy. They'll probably tell you, Mom, Dad, I don't need a shoulder rest. Yes, they do. Every single child needs a shoulder rest. There's no unusual shoulder that does not need one at this age. And all kids have shoulder rests. So don't let them fool you on the shoulder rest. Also, they will try to pull this one on you and say, well, my teacher allows me to sit or lay back in a couch while I practice. No, we never do that. We don't have couches in the gym at all, or chairs even. We really promote that students are standing when they're practicing. It promotes a really good practice habit and also good positions. I would love to, like I said, have them using a stand. If they don't have a stand, at least that they're putting their music high so that they're not looking down to the floor as they practice. You can ask your child, what does good instrument position look like? Can you show that to me? How do you hold your bow? Can you show me how you hold your bow? What is good left hand position? Is your wrist straight? Is your thumb low and straight? Are your fingers covering the tapes? All of the students now know at this point in class what all of those prompts mean. And it would be wonderful if they can show you these things and, empower their learning too by showing this to you. And they're always great prompts to just continue to remind them as they're performing. Hey, I see your wrist is flat. You told me that you're supposed to have a straight wrist. Working on songs, how can you help with this? You can ask your child, what song are you working on? Did you review songs that you've already passed? So if they've passed Mississippi River, did you go back and review that song? Because we want to make sure that you know that for the concert coming up. Did you review Down Pony Up Pony, whatever pieces they've already passed? You can ask a child when they're working on a new song, what similarities and differences are in the song? Can you show me, is the first line the same as the second line? Are there short notes, fast notes, or slow notes? You could also have students practice in a smart way by practicing with the recording online. They could simply say note names if you're traveling. Say, bring your violin book with you. Let's say the note names, open A, open D, so forth. Can you air bow it? Can you just show me how the rhythm is supposed to go with just your bow? And practice along like that. Can you do just your fingers on your instrument and not even make a sound with your bow? These are all steps that make violin playing and viola playing easier and help promote a healthy habit of practice. And then once again, are you checking your positions while you play? All right, I went quicker than I did on the cello thing. I could talk about this stuff all night long, so I tried to go a little bit quicker for you guys. Our first concert is December 7th. It is at Clayton. Everybody in the high school on the auditorium. It's really exciting because it's on the big stage and all elementaries come together as one big orchestra. So we're very excited to show you that performance coming up. All right, that's all I have to say. If you have some questions, we'll be happy to answer some questions right now. Or if you wanted to specifically talk to me about your child, we can kind of hang on after everybody leaves and you can ask more personal questions. Does anybody have any questions?